This week on X-Trex, I am for you, Big Blue.
It's the Stranded episode.
Welcome to X-Trex, a podcast where we introduce each other to our fandoms one episode at a time. I'm your host, Erin Cline, an X-Files enthusiastic apologist.
And I'm your other host, Stella Cheeks, a forever slut for Star Trek the original series. Each podcast, we pick 2 episodes that fit a cinematic theme, watch them together, and then record our feelings.
Our theme this week is Stranded.
All the taglines for this episode are basically, the boys get stranded on a strange planet where a hot lady is mean to them. And honestly, I can't sum it up better than that. So that's what we're doing. We're watching That Which Survives from Season 3.
And for the X-Files, we're covering a Season 3 banger, the end of Poor Dana's Dog, the one with the sunken ship, the Stranded on a Rock. It's Quagmire.
I wondered how the stranded came in.
Yeah. That's what it is. It's because they're idiots. You may better know this one as the Loch Ness Monster one. But this is also the one where Scully and Mulder are stranded at sea, except LOL dipshits, you could just stand up. You're fine. Also, this has an assist from our favorite of the pod, Darren Morgan. We literally only have 1 episode left, and this was one of his screen treatments, so we had to do this one.
No, we have more than 1 episode left.
No, we have 1 Darren Morgan episode left.
But it made it sound like we only had 1 episode
No,
left.
Darren Morgan. We have 1 Darren Morgan episode left.
Okay.
Of our limited episodes that we have left, one of them is the final Darren Morgan one.
Okay,
Yes.
That makes more sense.
Okay. Are you ready for digging in there, Mr. Spock?
Okay.
Yes, if Mr. Spock is correct, you'll have a report to startle the 5th Interstellar Geophysical Conference.
Why? What is it, Jim?
A planet even Spock can't explain. Prepare to transport.
Now for a quick-ish episode summary. The Enterprise discovers a ghost planet, but it's not haunted, it's just inconsistent. A mystery we must solve. Kirk, McCoy, Sulu, and geologist D'Amato beam down to investigate, but as they are beaming down, a mysterious and hot woman appears in the transporter room telling them they must not go. But it's too late because they are already mid-beam, which is too bad for Ensign Wyatt because that lady kills him for no reason. Womp womp. They materialize on the planet and are greeted with massive seismic activity, and the entire planet disappears, leaving them stranded. Back on the ship, Spock is being extra cunty in his role as commanding officer, while M'Benga tries to figure out what killed Ensign Wyatt, and Scotty tries to get them back to the mysterious planet. The landing party, left with no option, splits up to explore their surroundings. Unfortunately for our new friend D'Amato, he runs into our mysterious and hot lady who tells him, "I am for you," before killing him with just a touch. Our crew finds his body and attempts to bury him, but then they discover that the planet is artificial. The baby planet is a fake baby. Back on the Enterprise, Scotty is getting a bad feeling, which Spock is like, feeling? Ugh, gross, because Vulcan, etc., etc. Scotty sends Engineer Watkins to check on some equipment where he is met with the same strange and hot lady. He tries to warn Scotty, but unfortunately, every cell in his body is disrupted like the other 2 deaths, and she folds into space. What is going on? Spock wants to know, but he will not guess. God damn it. The woman comes for Sulu next. He tries to shoot her, but she survives, creepily continuing to advance, saying, "I must touch him. I am for Lieutenant Sulu." She grazes him and hurts him, but he survives. Kirk interferes, but weirdly, when she touches him, he lives. He asks where the men are against a bisexual sky. You're welcome for that famous meme, Tumblr. And she gets frustrated and folds in half. It seems like she can only kill if she is for you. Spock is cunty to Uhura, who takes it like a champ while the ship begins to accelerate uncontrollably. Scotty discovers the emergency overload bypass has been sabotaged and estimates that the ship will explode in 15 minutes, if not brought back under control. Spock suggests they manually cut the antimatter fuel flow to the warp engines, and Scotty's like, "That will kill us if it goes wrong." And Spock is like, "We'll die either way." And then it works because obviously, does this count as a rare pair team up? I don't know. On the planet, the woman appears again, announcing she is for Kirk, but Sulu and McCoy block her path. Questioned by Kirk, the woman says she is Lucira, the station commander. She is alone, and her only purpose is to defend the planet from intruders. Kirk's questions unsettle her, "Suck it, computer lady," and she vanishes. But this crew ain't no slouch, and they follow her power emanations into a hidden entrance. Unfortunately, they also find 3 Luceros, 1 for each of them. Fortunately, Spock and the Enterprise are back, and they destroy the computer, like, immediately. A projected image of Lucira then appears on the wall, informing her fellow Kalandians that a disease has killed the station's personnel and that the computer has been defending the station against intruders. McCoy surmises that the disease eventually wiped out all of the entire Kalandan species, and thankfully it doesn't kill the Enterprise. Nobody ever is even like, well, thank God we're fucking immune. Fucking idiots. And Spock suggests that the computer used images of Lysira to do the job of defense. If you gotta die, you might as well die by a hot lady. Kirk concludes that the landing party survived because the reproductions were so perfect that they also experienced regret about killing, and also probably that little game of Ring Around the Rosie at the end. Did we forget to mention that she was hot? Bye. They talk about it a lot.
Yeah,
They're
they
like,
do.
and she's beautiful. And also she's beautiful. And beautiful. Like, we get it. Can't see her belly button, though.
No, you sure cannot.
Strategically covered, just with one weird little patch of
Right, in a
fabric.
very confusing patch of fabric.
They said, cover that belly button.
Mm-hmm. She did it. She certainly did it.
What did you think of this episode?
I enjoyed it. I found I wasn't actually taking very many notes because I
Yeah,
was just
it's not
kind of
like a notey episode.
No, yeah, it wasn't really a notey episode. The notes are like Spock is annoyed and being super cunty. There's a bunch of really good flinging. Like I did take notes on the rare pair. Of course, I noticed that one because that's my favorite rare pair. Spotty. Is that what their name is?
I don't. It can't be that.
What?
It can't be Spotty.
It also can't be Scop.
Yeah, right.
I think it's probably just Scott / Spock. I don't think they have a ship name. It's because it's a rare pair. They don't need a ship name.
So Spotty. Okay, got
They
it.
might have one. I don't think Spotty should be it.
Listen, I'm only working with what I've got. I like the costumes in this. I thought Uhura looked fantastic through the whole thing. She had those long teardrop earrings on. I really enjoyed.
Yeah, they changed it from her green in season 3.
Yeah, I noticed it. They look very good. I liked that there were a lot of competent women in this episode. That was
Yeah.
nice. I thought for sure that the woman who was taking the helm was going to flip out at some point. They kept cutting to her in a way that was like, is she panicking? What the fuck is going on
I think
here?
she was
And-
mostly just annoyed.
yeah, towards part of it with Spock coming up behind her and doing actually, it's this point, this.
Yeah.
Like, shut up. God.
Yeah, her name is Lieutenant Rada. The actress we've talked about before because she was in the Paradise Syndrome as one of the natives. Her name's Naomi Pollock. But the cool thing about her, one, it's cool to see more women on the bridge or whatever, but she is the first explicitly Hindu character because you can see she has the bindi on.
Mhm.
So that is awesome. And I think she's also the first female helmswoman, like
Oh.
at the helm. So
Cool.
even though she's only in this one episode, she has kind of a significant
Yeah.
and she has a lot of lines in this episode.
Mhm, yeah.
The other guy at the helm says, "But nothing."
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't want to trip Spock off. He's like, if I just sit really still and don't look him in the eye, then he won't say anything cunty to me.
Yeah,
I'm just going to let him touch the buttons next to me. I'm not going to worry about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's the one that gets brought in when Sulu or Chekhov aren't there, so he's used to like an acting captain, not a regular captain. So he's like, "I'll just be quiet." Spock will figure it out eventually, or we'll all die. That's how this works.
That's true. The crew is surprisingly calm every single time they are like, well, it'll be 15 minutes. Everyone's like, will it? I don't
we'll
know
see.
if it will.
It will or it won't. There's really nothing we can do about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this episode's interesting because like not a lot happens, but it's not also like a bad episode.
Yeah, I agree with that. It felt kind of boilerplate. Like, we've seen stuff like this before. The ship is going to blow up. What do they do? Oh, man,
Yeah.
they've been transported away from the planet. Like, we've seen all of the
Interesting,
pieces
like
of this.
crew configurations too.
Yes,
like we said,
mhm.
like we
We got to
have
see-
McCoy, Sulu, Kirk, and Diamato, a geologist on there. We get to see because McCoy's on the planet. We get to see Mbenga, the like secondary medical officer.
I liked him.
Yeah, I love Mbenga. He's only in one other episode, but he's in the novels, and now he's in Strange New Worlds too, which is. I don't watch that show for reasons we've talked about, but I do like him. The episodes I've seen, he's great on the show, and he's definitely a character that deserved more love. So I'm glad they brought him on.
Yeah, I thought he was great in this.
Yeah, we got to see a bunch of like a lot of them died, but we did get to see a bunch of other crew members, which is cool. It gives breath to the Enterprise.
Yeah, I always like it when we get to see more people in and out of those roles because it is a ship of what, like 400 people?
Yeah.
Like, there have to be people who are trained for like everything. So
Yeah,
I
and
think
we're
it's-
always seeing the A crew, but like they got to sleep.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So I like seeing that. I like when they did the big fling at the beginning and everyone was like on the ground and Spock was like, I got a donk on my head.
I hit my occipital bone on the edge of this chair.
Okay, bro. Got it. But I liked that there was another woman in that shot who was in the back of it. She was a blonde woman who shook her head like, Jesus fucking Christ, this shit again. And then is not seen again for the rest of the episode. But I noticed her immediately and was like, more women? All right, fantastic.
Yeah. That's cool too. Because they have the seismic activity on the Enterprise, but then they have the like planet shaking up, and they actually made a rocker plate on the set to make it
Cool.
look like a real quake. So it's like they're actually being flung, the 4 of them on the planet, which is really cool because they did not have a lot of money in season 3, and that's weird that they spent money on that, but it's a cool effect. I'm glad that they did because it looks really cool. Speaking of not a lot of money, this is the last episode produced by Robert H. Justman, who we've talked about a ton. And basically he quit because of the budget. He was like, now strictly budget driven, my never ending battle to cut costs without compromising quality has failed. The Star Trek I knew and was proud to be a part of was no more. So he bounced. Ooh. He was like, I can't
Scathing.
penny pinch anymore. It's actually making my job unbearable. So I'm just going to leave.
Wow. That's wild.
Yeah. This is episode 17 of season 3. So he was there pretty close to the end. Not that he knew it was the end, but I'm sure he saw the writing on the walls and was like, I'm just going to be out.
Yeah.
I think.
It's funny that this is like a penny pinch episode because it's very pretty. Like there is a lot in it that is like for an episode that needs to penny pinch in many ways, that I thought that they didn't compromise that, which was really nice. Yeah,
they do reuse a lot of stuff, but they do make a lot of stuff for this episode. Like they did, the rocker plate, and then the Jeffries tube that Scotty is in when he's doing the antimatter matter thing. Like they hadn't really used anything like that before. Now that's really standard in Star Trek. Like especially if you watch TNG, them bitches is always in a Jeffries tube. They are crawling around in those. And I actually learned today that they're called Jeffries tubes because the set designer's name was Matt Jeffries. And I didn't know that. And I was like, oh, that's fucking cool.
That makes sense. I liked all of that stuff in the crawl space.
Well, then you love TNG because they are always in a Jeffries tube.
All right. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah, I like that. I liked how quiet it was in the tube. I love that they cut like basically all the rest of the sound out of there. It was very effective.
Yeah. This was a good Scotty episode.
Absolutely, 100%.
It's like a really good Scotty
episode. You got a lot of breadth of his character. Also, him being like happy and smug about like, I can get you up even a little bit more than 8. And then he's like, it's at 15 and I'm going to die in this tube.
And also him and Spock's like back and forth. And also him being like a good boss to his like engineer crew. And I also do love that both D'Amato and Watkins follow some like great protocol. Like they don't fall for her like honeypot. They're like trying to get more information but diffuse the situation. The engineer lies to her about like what a certain thing in the Enterprise does because he's like not going to give away proprietary information. Like good secondary crew stuff on this one.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I only wrote this down because there is an episode of The X-Files named Tunguska or whatever, but the seismic event that Sulu is talking about where Kirk cuts him off and is like, if I wanted Russian facts, I would have brought Chekhov. That's that event. And I was like, hey, The X-Files.
Hell yeah. Direct intersection.
Yeah. This episode, the story outline was written by Michael Richards, a.k.a. DC Fontana. But she did not like how they... Dumb down is not the right word because Lucira isn't dumb, but in her original story or teleplay or whatever, she was a lot brutaler. She was like out for blood, and in this one they made her like a hot lady with feelings, and she was like, actually use my pseudonym. I don't actually want my name on this one.
Good for her.
Yeah.
She has a line, and when they cross it, she's like, put my fake name on it.
Put my fake name on it. I'm done with this. You made the woman weird, and I don't want to be associated with it. And I really respect it. That's why she's the GOAT. The only other thing that I have, this is a rare episode where something that previously happened is mentioned. Like Sulu talks about the Horta and the silicone like base life form when they're trying to discover. And like this is so episodic that they barely ever reference anything that happened before. And so that's like truly a very rare moment when they're like referencing something that happened before. So it is like actually notable.
Interesting.
Yeah. Not Chekhov. Sulu is great in this episode.
I totally agree.
Him a lot. I'm glad he didn't have every cell in his body disrupted.
Only a couple of them, which I like how McCoy was like, if it was a normal wound, it would heal fast. And then like 4 seconds later, he's like, I'm okay. I can kind of do this. It's cool.
Yeah, you know, I'm fine.
The necrotic damage, not that big of a deal.
McCoy can fix anything.
That's true. Give him enough stimulants and time.
He can do anything. It's too bad that D'Amato died. I thought that actor did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
He has a, what is his name? Robert Picardo vibe about him. The doctor from Voyager. He did a good job, I thought. Yeah, this episode, like, it's not particularly exciting. I think Zach Handlen, who we always bring up for some reason.
Because he talks about everything all the time.
He's like very prolific about writing about Star Trek.
And the X-Files.
And honestly, maybe he's the one that writes his own shit in the Wikipedias. I would not be surprised.
Good for him.
Respect the hustle. If we ever find out that he's a bad dude, we reserve the right to have not known that.
I'll just go back through and edit every single one of these episodes.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
But he gave it like a B, where he was like, it's got some interesting bits, but it's also, you know,
Yeah.
which is like very, very much what's going on.
Yeah, there's not a lot that's like groundbreaking, other than the groundbreaking.
Other than the literal groundbreaking. I mean, her eye makeup is amazing.
Oh my God,
Her
absolutely.
costume is weird because they covered her belly button in a weird way, and it looks like an I Dreamed of Jeannie outfit.
It totally does.
But her eye makeup fucks.
It's wild.
It's very good.
Those colors could not have been good for her. There's no way.
I love it.
No
I
way
think
at all.
it's great.
Yeah, I liked
Put
it.
dye directly on your eyes.
I like it.
Anything else about this episode?
I like the square disco opal thing. I like that was, it looked good. I don't know how it looked
Their
when
computer?
it was. Yeah, I don't know how it looked when it was on a small screen, but I liked it now seeing it. I assume that it's updated at least a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I will say the like updates and enhancements that they did just to like the color toning, like everybody looks really good in this episode.
Yes,
I
totally
noticed that
agree.
specifically. I was like, the colors are, and like everybody's faces look good in this episode.
And it's not shot in a way that they normally do when they make people glowy like that.
Yeah.
It's not the like up close or the like big zoom in shots. Like this was just them
Everybody looks
existing.
smooth. In like a good way, I guess. A shout out to that one security officer who he beams down. Kirk goes, shoot the computer. And he's like, okay.
Does not hesitate, even for one
Not a
moment.
bit. He's like, that's my job. My job is to point and shoot where the captain tells me to point and shoot.
Yep. I like too that Sulu was like, I really don't want to have to shoot a woman. Like, I really don't want to have to shoot
Especially
a
a
woman.
hot one.
Right? Ugh, man.
How could something so beautiful be evil? Whatever, Sulu.
Guys, come on.
Aren't you literally studying plants all the time? They're all beautiful and evil. They are. They're like the most beautiful ones are going to poison you.
Yeah, it's true.
Come on, Sulu.
Oh, Sulu. All right, those are my thoughts. I don't have any more. Again, not an episode with a lot to say about it, but not bad.
Yeah, it's just an episode of Star Trek.
Yes, absolutely. It is an episode of Star Trek.
Synopsis showdown.
All right.
Spock is mean to everyone while a mysterious hot lady tries to kill them.
A fake lady tries to end the Enterprise.
The end.
The end.
Are you ready for Mulder? It's me.
Sure.
This is how it starts.
What?
With a deflection, sleight of hand. See, whenever an issue requires any real thought, any serious mental effort, people turn to UFOs and sea serpents and Sasquatch.
Here's a quickish episode summary. We're doing the bullet points thing again. This is how I'm enjoying doing the back half of this season. So here we go. A man does not care about frogs, and when the frogs, they do not care about him while he gets fucking murdered. A frog scientist does not care about this man who has been murdered, and he does not like Mulder at all. A carny really enjoys telling them all about Big Blue, and they meet Ansel, enthusiastic. Oh no, a body! The carny is then murdered doing what he loves most, being a carny. The stoners who we love and we're going to see in the next Darren Morgan episode too, but they're in this one and I love them and I want to shout them out. Ansel is really determined and really dumb and then really, really dead. The sheriff almost dies and finally closes the lake down after like 14 people being attacked in the same day, and then Queequeg dies, and then they're on a boat, and then they're waxing poetic on a rock. The frog scientist does them a solid by not mercilessly mocking them when he finds them stranded 3 feet from the shore. Mulder figures out that it's frogs and science, and it's really this thing, right? Right? LOL, it's a giant alligator that he fucking kills dead. Or was it?
Oh.
The end.
This episode's fun. It feels like a fun, good episode of X-Files.
Yeah, it's sort of the same thing as the Trek one. It's not doing like a ton, but it's good and it's enjoyable
it's
to watch.
doing the thing that you watch it for.
Absolutely.
And I think Mulder has good like banter and stuff.
Yes.
This episode, I think Mulder is very good in this episode. Or,
Yeah.
not Mulder. David Duchovny is very good in this episode.
Whatever. Inextricable from each other, and we both know it. Yeah, a lot of the writing that was in this, a lot of the writing is in service of Mulder and Scully, obviously. Like, it's very much about them and their relationship and how she's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, basically.
It's a good spotlight for this because she's like, missing persons, it's a thing that happens. Why are we out here? And then she sees like a sign for essentially the like Georgia Loch Ness Monster. And she's like, are you fucking serious?
You call me at 3 a.m, give me 5 minutes to get on a
Maybe bring my
plane.
dog.
Right? My mom is out of town. I don't know what you fucking want from me. I like that interaction with them a lot. And then the stuff on the rock when they're stranded, quote, 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 stranded. That's like 10 uninterrupted pages of dialogue that the two of them did. And it works so well.
It's really good. Like, especially if you are starting to feel like, because this is season 3, like the shippy feels or whatever, it's like a very good. And she's kind of mean to him in this episode, but not in a. It's not like she's intentionally being mean and like calling him stupid or whatever, but she's like clearly like at this point a little exasperated with the monster hunting and the aliens and the nonsense and it's just clearly become kind of a lot for her, and she still clearly really cares about him, but she's kind of brutal to him. Like calling someone Ahab is an insult.
I was going to say it's not a compliment. It is not a compliment at all.
Not a compliment.
Especially when it's something that you called your dad, who you have a truly extraordinarily fucked up
But even
relationship
that
with.
one, it's like, oh, we read this book together. At least there's context there. She's using it as no, you are being like this insane character. You are like Ahab is a slur. like that's a bad thing to be called.
Oh my god. Oh, but then you get a peg leg. That's all that Mulder wants, is to have a peg leg.
Very like funny of him to like bat it away, because I'm sure that actually made him feel like shit. Because again, he's clearly read the book. He quoted the book.
I know. I thought that was very sweet.
Knows that it's not a compliment to be called Ahab.
And he does sort of have his feelings hurt when she's like, those are at least legitimate reasons. He's like, you don't think that my reasons are legitimate? And there's this moment where it's like, his sister did get kidnapped.
Yeah.
Like, they are pretty legitimate reasons in many ways. He's just fucking crazy. And so they get misinterpreted in different ways.
Well, and also like we haven't seen it as much at this point, but like he has been proven right many times by this point. It's just like it is hard to put in a report, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. Even though we also now know, looking out for it, that they have like a 67% close rate? Is that what they said?
That's crazy.
Something insane.
Yeah. And I also I didn't write this quote down, but the thing that he says at the end, because he's clearly very disappointed, like when he kills the alligator, like he's like momentary relieved because he's alive, and then he's like, it's just a fucking alligator or crocodile, whatever. I don't know the difference. I don't care to know the difference. Don't tell me the difference.
Okay, well.
Because that is like, it's disappointing. He's like, I thought I was really onto something here, right? And he has that line kind of at the end that's like, God, it was a good line. Fuck it. I don't know. He has a line about hope that is good at the end that I didn't write down.
Oh, okay. All right, great.
You know what I'm talking about, right, Bobby? Bobby knows.
It's actually the back end of a line during a conversation that they have earlier in the episode where he says, I know the difference between hope and, I believe, purpose.
Yeah. And he's like, hope gives me purpose or something like that. Right. Which is kind of a beautiful sentiment.
I also, in those moments, too, of when he's, like, upset, I also kind of feel like he's realizing, like, I would have killed that thing. Like, without any hesitancy, I would have killed this fucking monster, and what does that mean about me and about...
This prehistoric monster, this thing. Yeah, I actually was thinking that when he was shooting it. Like, oh no, he's going to be really sad when this monster is dead. Like, he doesn't want to kill Sasquatch. He doesn't want to kill Big Blue. He, like, probably wants to kill aliens, but, like, that's different.
That's a little different, yeah.
But,
even
like,
then, he still wants to, like, take them in and
right.
kidnap them,
he
essentially.
He has, like, an insatiable curiosity. And, like, it's kind of a good thing that it was just a crocodile that he killed, I think. I think it actually would have been more devastating if he killed Big Blue.
Oh, 100%. Having to look it in the face and then having to write it in a report. Yeah, I fucking killed that thing dead.
Yeah.
Oops.
I did think that the rock that they were stranded on was going to be the monster because I thought that would have been a good reveal.
Very Chris Carter reveal.
Yeah, like they're on the monster the whole time, then they walk to the shore, and then we see the monster like dip under. That's great. That would have been great.
That would have been good.
Don't give that to Chris Carter. That's an actual good idea.
Fair. It's a Chris Carter.
The Chris Carter thing is just fucking the Big Blue in the background at the end.
Yes.
What a cheap way to do that.
Oh my God.
My way is more interesting.
They tried to do that with a practical effect with a big rubber sea monster that they like dragged behind a boat, and it did not work at all. And so they wound up having to do the whole thing in CGI.
That's very funny.
I imagine that it's the one that's on top of the shack when they meet the carny, because it's all like rubbery
They were
and
like,
blowing in the
well,
wind.
I guess we got to use this.
Right, exactly. Like, we paid all this money for it, so strap it behind the boat. Let's
Yeah.
see. Which I think is also funny, since they did a lot of really good stuff with the people getting pulled in the water too. Like, I thought they did very, very good practical effects in that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I mentioned like watching somebody die in the water, like a Jaws style death or like the death here. That's like, you feel the most impotent, I feel like, if you were watching it, because you're like, I'm not going to jump in the water because I'm not even going to be able to help. Even if I had a fucking gun.
Right.
You can't really shoot good in the water. Like, there's like no way to help that person.
And you don't know that they're dead yet. Like,
Yeah.
you are pretty sure that they're dead, because that seems pretty shitty. But at the same time, like, what happens if you jump in the water and you are the reason that actually they're dead then?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Because you can't see unless it's like a pool, right? Like if it's a pool and you can see and it's clear and et cetera, et cetera. But like, shout out to lifeguards, I guess.
Yeah, for real, dude. I did like, we talked a little while we were watching it about the local sheriff and how he was actually like quite good at his job.
Yeah, I
and
never want to give a cop credit, but this cop is fake, so I guess we can give him credit.
yes, this actor did a great job in this character as this sheriff. I thought the sheriff was well written. It was adversarial with Mulder in the way that we've come to expect, but at the same time, like, he was actually very good at his
he
job.
had reasons. He wasn't just being a cunt about it. He was like, no, this is protocol. This, like, I can't just shut down this like, I don't have enough
48
men.
miles of shore is a lot of
Yeah.
shore. It's very difficult to shut that down.
And then, of course, he gets pulled in and he's like, nope, you were right. We'll shut it down. And, like, he admitted he was wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's when do cops, real life or fake, ever do that?
Yeah, for real. He was like, it brushed against me. We got to kill this thing. I don't care what it is. It's going down. Like, you know what? You're right. You should be doing that. Would it surprise you to learn that this was done in a research wave tank? That's how they did all of the effects of the water with them standing on the stranded island. That's how they did the boat inside of there. That's how they did all of the, like,
I guess that makes sense.
dragging around.
I mean, they had to film some of it on a lake.
Yes, right? I believe so. Some of the like
Wide shots and
the
stuff.
establishing shots. The reason I thought it was on the West Coast is because it's filmed on the West Coast.
Yeah.
So that
They're just accents. I didn't hear where they were at the beginning, and then everybody had kind of an accent, and I was like, where is this? So I looked it up. It's in Georgia.
it is in Georgia. So while they were doing the filming of the rock on the tank, it fucked up and got broken, and they had to bring in like an emergency crew to fix it. So part of the whole thing of this is this like interaction between them and the water, and this like at one point Scully says it, you have to have respect for nature because it has no respect for you. And I thought this was a very, very good episode for that. I thought there was a lot of good writing about that. Like at one point Scully also said, we eat fish and fish eat us.
And fish eat us.
I thought it was really interesting to watch them while they're saying these like poetic lines at each other, but they are very true. Like you should be fucking scared of nature. You should be respectful of nature because it does not give a fuck about you at all. You should be healthily afraid of the water. You should always respect the water. The water will kill you and not give a fuck.
All of nature will kill you, man.
That's
You
true.
shouldn't lick toads.
No, you should not lick a toad. Don't lick a toad. We talked about this before, but this is them bringing Queequeg back. He's only in 3 episodes.
Why couldn't they have just been like, my mom really likes a dog, so he goes with the mom. The end.
They literally just brought him back to kill him in this episode because he's fodder for the alligator. And like, it does work. It brings them together. I do love when she's like, could you repeat everything you said after I'm sorry? Like, I did like
She's
this
sad because
interaction.
her dog died.
Right? And it's it is exactly what happened with her dad too, right? That he like doesn't understand why she's at work and then doesn't understand why she doesn't want to work in the way that he's expecting her to work. And like, this is another good example of like, he just does not understand mourning. Clearly his reasons for this are because his sister got kidnapped and he does not understand how to mourn her or let that feeling go from her.
Yeah.
That's Mulder.
That's Mulder.
The reception to this was mostly positive. People liked it. Obviously, the dialogue.
It's an easy episode to watch.
Absolutely. Again, it's sort of like the Trek one that I wouldn't say this is the best episode of the X-Files. Would I put it on my I would watch list of like, I don't know, a top 50? Probably. But also part of that is that Darren Morgan did part of the screen treatment, that's part of why there's also callbacks to other stuff. Same as the Trek episode in that too, in that this is an episode that has a ton of callbacks in it. Because that's what Darren Morgan loves to do. And it works very well. But I also feel like if you don't know what the callbacks are, it totally works as its own kind of bottle episode too. So I can see why people liked it. Other people did not like that they had them on a rock and that they were doing a bunch of dialogue. A lot of people were like, it's only in service of the fact of these two characters. But
they're the characters.
Right, exactly. Like it should be in service of these characters.
X-Files fans are dumb and I hate them.
Yes, it's true. All right. Synopsis showdown?
Yes. Mine is not good. I want everyone to know that.
It's not very good either. A fake Loch Ness monster kills Scully's dog.
Mulder faces yet another disappointment while Scully loses her dog. That's what happens.
Wow. All right.
100% what happens.
I mean, you're not wrong. All right. Are you ready for Deep Throat's mission logs?
Yeah, let's do it.
Beauty is transitory, Doctor. However, she was evidently highly intelligent.
Kirk Enterprise, 5 to beam up. I don't agree with you, Mr. Spock.
Indeed, Captain.
Beauty survives.
Starting with That Which Survives, first aired January 24th, 1969. As Stell mentioned, this was a story by DC Fontana, which she then took her name off of and gave credit to the fake Michael Richards. Teleplay credit here goes to John Meredith Lucas, who was a producer for a lot of season 2. So it's not like they threw it to anyone. They threw it to somebody who is very familiar with the show. Expanding on a note that Stell got previously, DC Fontana's original story outline was called Survival, and it had the image of Lysira being a lot more brutal, as Stell said, and also specifically causing dissension in the ranks of the crew members on the ship to obfuscate her mission and cause death. Yes, making her a lot more active and a lot more cunning, as Stell said.
I have to touch you.
I'm beautiful. I have to touch you.
Let me touch you. I am for you.
She was beautiful. I don't think that was ever mentioned.
Yeah.
This is the last episode in TOS where Enterprise crew members die. We're that advanced into the show. But yeah, past this, there are no crew deaths. Also, it's notable that D'Amato dies not wearing a red shirt. He's wearing a science uniform.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
He's a scientist.
Expanded universe stuff here. There is a series of novels called Star Trek Gateways. Specifically, a novel One Small Step expands on this story and expands on the lore here, and they actually kind of use it to tie all of those books together. So this does come back in Extended Universe Trek, but not extensively. Moving on to some casting stuff. That is Kenneth Washington as Watkins, also known for the 1973 Westworld series and several episodes of Police Story, and took over the role of Baker to play in 24 episodes of Hogan's Heroes. We again get to see Booker Bradshaw as M'Benga, taking over comms for the medical officer. We hear mention of a head medical officer on the ship, Dr. Sanchez, that we actually never see. They bring back M'Benga specifically to talk to the crew and not some guy named Dr. Sanchez who we've never met before. Stell mentioned Naomi Pollock as Lieutenant Rada, who on screen is the first Indian officer and also first woman. Pollock in real life is Jewish, so that got kind of 1960'd, as we also saw her do in the Paradise Syndrome as well. We talked about her when we talked about the Paradise Syndrome, but she's awesome. She's co-founder of a traveling Jewish theater and did a lot on stage work for Jewish actors.
Cool.
That is Arthur Botanides as Lieutenant D'Amato, Mostly
Botanides.
Botanides. I didn't want to say it. God damn it. He's mostly known for playing Mr. Kirkland in every single Police Academy movie except the first one.
So strange.
And also several characters on Mission Impossible and other comedy sitcoms in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Started the biz by doing stand-up for troops in World War II. Like Stell said, he's great in this. He really doesn't seem like he should be on an away mission, but he's very competent in doing the best he can as well.
Yeah.
It's great. Also, they name his specific tricorder that he has, the big one with the big screen. It looks completely different. That ends up being known as the geological tricorder.
Okay.
So he is of note there. And then that brings us to Lucira, who's played by Lee Merriweather. Lee Merriweather, legit Miss America 1954.
Shit.
It's the first televised Miss America competition. She won at 19 years old, and so she was the first person to ever be like that iconic image of winning Miss America and crying and all of that.
That's so cool.
Yep. Beyond that, she's also most known for portraying Catwoman in the Batman motion picture. She's never Catwoman in the series, but the 66 Batman, the movie, she plays Catwoman. And 30 episodes of oft-mentioned The Time Tunnel as Dr. McGregor, Lily Munster on Munsters Today, and 178 episodes of Barnaby Jones as Betty Jones, Barnaby Jones's niece. Also did a long All My Children run spanning from 1996 to 2011 at 78 episodes. She's great in this, and she just seems like pure Hollywood sex symbol floating to. She's like, all of the quotes in her IMDb, she never spoke bad about anyone. She's really like, oh, I was lucky. I know people who had to really, really like grind or whatever. I just, roles found me.
I think she's still alive.
Yeah, she is. She's still alive and working.
90.
Yeah.
Oof.
Damn.
Moving on to Quagmire. Original air date May 3rd, 1996. Head writer credit on this goes to Kim Newton with help from Chris Carter and Darren Morgan.
Right.
Newton also wrote Revelations, which is season 3, episode 11, and had return producer gigs on Big Shot, Blacklist, Gotham, Cold Case, In Plain Sight, and 83 episodes of Las Vegas. It's said that Morgan specifically was the one who wrote them on the Rock. But a lot of the framing of this is Kim Newton. So that's great. And this is directed by another Kim Manners. Of course, it's X-Files. It looks like this. It's fucking Kim Manners. It's great. A little bit more in Queequeg. Some funny shit in Queequeg. We first meet Queequeg in Clyde Bruckman's Final Repose, in which it maybe eats a corpse. And we will see its second episode before it dies again very soon in War of the Copperphages. In a 2013 Ask Me Anything on Reddit, Gillian Anderson joked, or perhaps not, that she was not sorry to see Queequeg go because apparently that dog's farts were awful and it farted all of the time. Direct quote, that dog killed people with his farts and deserved to die a nasty death in the mouth of an alligator or whatever it was. So Gillian Anderson's with you on the alligator versus crocodile thing. Ugh, I had to shampoo it or walk away every few seconds because these pups of nastiness kept happening.
Ugh, gross.
Just a farty dog.
It's in Erin's notes and it's in mine. I'm not going to list them all, but because this is an episode with a lot of named things, including lakes and other things and authors, all these names are members of the crew's spouses or brothers or sisters like that. One that gets shot out is the lake itself, which is Hoovelman's Lake, which is most notably probably named after Bernard Hoovelman, author of some cryptozoology's most influential texts. So it's just bringing in the guy who wrote
Are you guys
about the
like
thing.
into cryptids? There are people who are like real. I feel like cryptids in the past couple of years have had like a big moment. People are like really horny for Mothman and stuff.
Yes, there's so much Mothman.
The way I'm into cryptids is I am into how they are representative of different cultures around the planet's fears and mores. That's what I dig about cryptids.
What about those ghosts with legs?
What?
That's like a thing. You never see those? What are the ghosts with legs?
Yeah.
I'm going to look them up. They have a name.
Okay.
Ghosts with legs. They're called the Fresno Nightcrawler, and they're just ghosts with legs.
There is a really good YouTube
I
series.
can't believe you've never seen that.
No.
There's a really good YouTube series called Monstrum that deals with a lot of cryptids and monsters like these in the way that I'm talking about. And I know of it because I have seen the host and writer of the show to give several presentations at Dragon Con about D&D monsters and about different monsters in history and how they kind of weave in with society's fears.
Yeah, like the lore and stuff is cool. It's just, I feel like people are really horny for them lately, especially Mothman. People want to bone him.
Well, yeah, because Mothman is said to have a bad ass.
I want to hang out with these ghosts with legs.
We hear and see Ansel clearly about to die singing the Cyndi Lauper song True Colors. He's doing this because that song was used to advertise Kodak film, which he is explicitly using.
On credit.
On store credit.
That he'll never have to pay back. Probably that guy died.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be a loss. But we've already seen that store owner beefs it earlier in the episode as well. So kind of, even.
Yeah. Oh, I was talking about the store owner. I
yeah.
forgot that he died. I was also.
Yes, he does.
There's so many of them.
And then in the point and click X-Files Resist or Serve video game that I'm going to get around playing eventually, we see a movie poster for kind of a B-movie version of Quagmire, of the events of this episode. So in universe, the events here get famous enough that they are canonized in film.
That's funny. That's some supernatural shit.
Hell yes. Speaking of some, one, I got excited, but I'm going to give one more note because I love this note. It is season 3 of the X-Files. Stell said this was probably a big moment for fandoms and shippers and things like that. It absolutely was. It gets its own acronym. It's the TCOTR, the Conversation on the Rock. Everyone mentions it as like the beginnings of the deep emotional connection between Mulder and Scully.
Is the joke about her losing weight because she's no longer pregnant?
No. Well, the joke in universe is because they're talking about cannibalism.
I know, but the joke meta is because she's no longer pregnant, right?
There's probably a meta concern there for that, yes. But okay. Mulder is thinking about eating her.
No, I got that joke. I'm very smart. I just meant, was this a reference to her? Because we watch them out of order, so it's hard to see, when she's pregnant or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's a good observation.
This is between 2 pregnancies. So, speaking of Supernatural, moving on to some casting stuff for this. As our fisherman, uncredited here is Murray Lowry. He also does Millennium, but also does a season 5, episode 3 of Supernatural, Free to Be You and Me, as a bartender, probably as another just minor character.
Looks like a lot of Lucifer trying to be like, hey, Sam, let me in. Because Lucifer is technically an angel, and angels have to get permission for possession.
Oh, okay.
And so he just kind of is like, hey, Sam, hey, Sam, hey, Sam, let me in.
Consent is heavenly.
Yeah.
We, of course, see Tyler Labine and Nicole Parker as our stoner dude and chick.
Hesitant chick.
Is that her name, Hesitant Chick?
Correct, yes.
Some form of chick listed elsewhere. He is always stoner dude, and she is always chick. We have seen them in Curse of the Weremonster, and we will see them again in the next episode of this podcast.
I did think it was this episode. Important episode for Dean and Castiel. Dean takes Castiel to a strip club because he's like, you gotta learn how to fucking loosen up, man. And Castiel tells the stripper a bunch of things only an angel would know. And she's like, get the fuck out, dude. You're banned from here? And Dean is like, that was fun.
Of course.
We see Pete Hanlon as the very snide and quickly dead Dr. William Bailey. We also saw him as an aide in Musings of a Cigarette Smoking Man, so we've talked about him previously. That is Mark Akeson as Ted Bertram. He plays a lot of larger guard characters and normally has a beard, so he looks very, very different. He's in an upcoming remake of Silent Night, Deadly Night, which I'm interested in. And he's also done some voiceover work like Transformers Cybertron and Dot Hack. But also, he's the one I want to talk about Supernatural-wise because his character names stick out to me. So, Season 5, Episode 6, I Believe the Children Are Our Future. He plays the Tooth Fairy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The Tooth Fairy, I'll just find a picture of it.
Is it like a big, scary monster?
No.
Oh.
Okay.
He's like a creepy dude in like a tutu. He's just like, that's a tutu.
Yeah, so that's him. That's the same guy.
Weird.
Yeah.
And then season 10, episode 12, About a Boy, he plays Hansel.
Yeah. Yep. That makes sense as well, too.
I said I knew I wanted to ask about it. Yeah.
Okay, so there's actually a couple about a boy. There's a couple supernatural fairy tale episodes. Yeah, it's like this one's okay. There's the one where the girl is Snow White and dreaming. There's like a depressed teddy bear that kills itself. It's like a whole thing.
I mean,
This
that's pretty. Twisted fairy tales are pretty on point
Yeah.
for that audience, but also that age of people.
Yes.
Whomst among us did not play some twisted version of Alice in Wonderland as children.
Yeah, I can't remember why
Or on stage.
there
on
are
stage.
fairy tales. I think there's like a witch involved and there's like hex stuff. I don't know. But he's like it's a weird episode. But I do remember him.
But he plays Hansel.
But he
like
plays
and
Hansel,
Gretel.
but he wears
So
like a
plays
tracksuit.
The Tooth Fairy and Hansel.
It's Hansel in like a tracksuit.
Yeah, sure. I mean, those are comfortable. I get it. I also play Hansel and would like to play it in more comfortable things than Lederhosen. However,
can't.
Nope.
Our $25 Hansel and Gretel costumes.
bury us in them.
Mine is like falling apart.
Yeah, mine too. Moving on, as Ansel Bray, that is R. Nelson Brown. He's Machin in the 05 Fog and Squid on Sanctuary. Also in a Supernatural Season 2, Episode 18, Hollywood Babylon, as two named characters, Frank Jaffe and Gerald St. James.
Okay, I'm assuming
Which is like a porn star?
Hollywood
Yeah,
Babylon is
Correct. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm assuming, I'm not totally looking it up. It's assuming that Hollywood Babylon is the one where they have to go on set because there's like a horror film that they're filming and like people are actually dying from a ghost. And so they go on set and go undercover as PAs. And Dean is an incredible PA. He's like really good at it and is having a really good time. And Sam is like, we're here to solve a ghost. And he's like, I'm sorry. And then he'll be like on the PA thing, like doing a really good job. Because the tragedy of Supernatural is that everybody, Sam whines about wanting a normal life, but Dean would actually thrive in a normal life. Anyways, it's a pretty good episode.
And then as Dr. Paul Faraday, that is Timothy Weber. Timothy Weber, who we've talked about previously for playing Detective Talbot in Tombs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Teams.
That makes sense.
And then last on this list as Sheriff Lance Hint, that is Chris Ellis. Chris Ellis is a fantastic character actor, almost always plays guys in authority, but has a lovely warmth and relatability to him. Off the top of my head, he is Deke Slayton in Apollo 13, one of the guys in Command Center. Flight Director Clark in Armageddon, Whitkins in Catch Me If You Can. Has done Space Above and Beyond and also 3 Millennium episodes as Jim Pensieris as well. He is the rare local authority figure here that demands respect and acts reasonably, which is great.
He's in one episode of Warehouse 13.
Yes. He's in one episode of a lot of things and then has like a bunch of small movie roles. He doesn't have a lot of return roles in television at all.
We do love Warehouse 13.
We do.
It's very good.
That's it for me. Respect the ocean and don't hesitate to shoot a ceiling cube.
You slew the big white whale, Ahab.
Yeah, but I still don't have that peg leg.
And now time for our overall thoughts. Well, these episodes don't totally tie together outside of the like stranded theme.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we said too, they're both episodes that are kind of like an episode, like a good episode.
They're in nature.
They
sort
are in
of.
nature.
I wanted to bring up that in both episodes, both of our protagonists trip and fall trying to run away and then open fire on our
That's
antagonists.
true.
You're totally
Hey,
right.
that's a thing that ties them together.
Absolutely.
They tie to the theme. Obviously, the Enterprise crew is literally stranded.
Yes, 100%.
And then they are sitting on a rock.
Yes, Mulder and Scully think that they're stranded. They're really convinced that they're stranded.
Superfan questionnaire. As a superfan, would this episode be on your must-watch list?
Not on my must-watch, no. But
Yeah.
I don't know. If I had to make a 25, maybe. I don't know. I liked it.
I don't think it would be on your 25.
Maybe not. I don't know.
I think it's very mid-range.
We've watched a lot of episodes at this point. I don't know.
Yeah, mine, it wouldn't be on my must watch, but it is a good episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one that when
I think
it comes
if I
up,
was making a list about like their relationship, this would be on that. You know, if
absolutely.
it was like a specific list.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Is there a series defining moment in this episode?
I mean, there's a lot of flinging. There's tons of flinging in this one. There's a lot of Kirk cares. Yeah.
Flinging.
Yep. There's a lot of warp speed, which is a thing that like I know is from Trek, but is just so ubiquitous in culture that like I don't even fucking think about it at all.
Yeah.
As like a cultural sci-fi thing that, yeah, you get it.
Yeah, there was also the moment where you get the 3 Luceras at the end where you said out loud, oh, now I understand that Austin Power reference.
Yes, yes,
there's
yes.
so many visual things that get taken.
Yes, absolutely.
He's
Yeah,
the
I never
second
would have known
person
that
to
was
talk
from
about
Trek.
Austin Powers this week. Like, what is happening?
That's strange.
That can't come back into the cultural zeitgeist.
For real.
That does not age
One of my
well,
friends who's really
and it wasn't
into
great in the first place.
board games found a like cursed like Austin Powers like card game.
Oh no. Oh no. No.
One of the
you.
cards is encourages you just to open up a expansion pack of cards.
Wow.
And I think you have like 2 options a bunch of times, which is like shag or shoot.
God.
Anyways,
That's
Austin
the new
Powers.
fight.
Yeah, shag or shoot.
I mean, it works.
Series defining moment. I don't know. I think that Mulder killing the animal and then being upset, like because it's not real or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I know that one's like philosophical and that. I mean, there's a moment where he just sticks his hand in blood. Like,
Yeah.
he touches a lot of stuff without gloves.
Yes, he certainly does. There are a lot.
Reaches into a dead man's pocket. Like,
Does not give a fuck either. Is so quick about it. Like, yep, here we go.
so
Not the first or last time I'll pick a dead man's pocket.
there's always that. Does this affirm your OTP?
Yes, this was another like surprising Kirk and the ship, like Sulu trying to talk to him about the ship being destroyed and Kirk just being like, no, I don't like he did everything but palm him in the face away from him. He was like, let's not even discuss it, Mr. Sulu. Thank you very much. So that, yes. And also my rare pair. This was a good showing of my rare pair.
Yes, a spotty, as you're calling it.
Spotty.
Horrible. It can't be that. I'm going to have to look it up.
Well.
If my OTP were Mulder and Scully, then yes.
Yeah. Do you have an OTP?
Not really. Because, like, obviously, if I ever read, it's like the rare heterosexual fic that I read, it's always Skinner and Scully. There's a moment where I read Skinner and Mulder, and I'll read a trio of them, but I do prefer to read just Skinner and Scully fic if I read X-Files fic. But also, like, I acknowledge that, like, if you're actually watching the show, like, the pair on the show is Mulder and Scully, and that's what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like hard because like I wouldn't say they're my OTP, but I also acknowledge like that's what's happening. And because we've seen a lot of them when they're older, I do love them together when they're older.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I do affirm it, even though I'm reading Skinner and Scully.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine. I really like that you love them as an older couple.
I love them as an older couple.
And it's, I think, a really interesting way to have done an X-Files journey because so many people had a decade where it's like, there's just nothing. Here's a shitty movie that all we have is this. And then these 2 seasons come back and have many problems in their own ways. There are lots of problems.
You've showed me basically the good ones of the
Yes.
new ones. So I've actually only seen a lot of the good episodes of the new
of 10 and 11.
seasons. I don't think you've really shown me bad episodes from the new seasons.
No, definitely not. Because a lot of that is syndicate shit that like wouldn't even make sense to you. It doesn't
So,
make
like,
sense
I
to me,
have
and
a
I've seen the whole
very-
series.
I have like a very like rose-colored glasses look of the newer seasons because I get to see the like good episodes.
But also, again, you don't have to wait. You just get all of this information about them all at the same time, too.
Also, I historically have better opinions than most X-Files fans.
Yes, well, that's not difficult, I don't
they're
think.
dicks.
Yes, well.
This is a podcast that hates X-Files fans.
Star Trek TOS didn't exist at the same time as the internet did.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
X-Files did.
Yeah. Yep.
It would be interesting. I'm sure there's some papers about it. The differences between X-Files fandom and Buffy fandom, because those are 2 that were happening not at the same time, but close to the same time, and had very interactive fandoms on the internet, and were both very genre heavy, which does color it. Or like other fandoms that were genre and coming of age at the same time. I don't know. X-Files fandom feels like when we think today about like toxic fandoms, obviously there was toxic. Every fandom has toxic parts of it. If you think your fandom doesn't, you're an idiot. Like,
Or you're part of the toxic part of it.
or you're part of the toxic part, for sure. Like, every fandom has toxic parts of it because humans are humans, right? And especially when you get really passionate about something, and so you like get all worked up. But X-Files, to me, is sort of like when we say toxic fandom today, it's very internet coded, right? And I think my like feelings sometimes are like that feels like the first toxic fandom in many ways because it was the first online or one of the first, if not the first, online fandom, like big online fandom. So of course it's the first toxic fandom too.
Yep, absolutely. And it's a show that's a perfect petri dish also for something like that because it does do that on purpose to you after a certain amount of time. And so I could see why watching it live, it could get pretty fucking toxic.
Yeah. And to also be fair and like defend's not the right, I don't have the right word for it, but I also tend to not interact with current fandoms. So it's very easy for me to look at fandoms through like a anthropological, because even like current or like more modern shows, like I didn't start in the Hannibal fandom till it was over. I didn't start watching Supernatural until like the second to last season. So like for the most part, I don't interact with like active fandoms, so it's very easy for me to have a lot of opinions about it. So like just to be fair, like that's my own biases.
That's all right. You're allowed to have biases.
I know, but I'm also acknowledging them because it's important to acknowledge them.
That's true. You're right. You're right. Is this a fuck, fine, or a flop?
It's fine.
Yeah.
Fine plus.
Yeah, I would agree. I'd say both of these are probably fine plus.
I think the Trek one is just a fine for me.
Well, but it has
just
a lot
fine
of
for me.
it has a lot of the individual things that I like inside of it, and not just that I love the rare pair of Spotty or fucking whatever.
Gotta look it up. I
It
can't.
has to be something else, but for
Scotty,
me, it's gonna be Spotty
Spot.
forever.
Ship name because I can't deal with this. I feel like they don't have a ship name.
Well, then it's Spotty.
You have to claim that by writing fic and labeling it.
Woof.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah, you have to do that. I'll go
If
on.
you
Okay.
want that to be a thing,
Do I want it to be a thing that
you
bad?
need to
I don't
get
know that I do.
published.
Well, I mean,
Gross.
there are archive of our own fics of them. I'm going on to AO3 right now. We're solving this immediately.
Fantastic. I'm so glad.
It's not the first time.
Bobby
we've
will
gone
have
right
to-
AO3 on an episode before.
Spock/Scotty. Let's see.
It's
Part of the show.
Yeah, it is a fundamental pillar of the show is fandom and fic.
Yeah, I am not seeing a ship name. I am just seeing Scotty/Spock. So I guess you can go in if you want, even though it's
that makes
horrible.
yeah, right.
It's horrible.
I want to see this happen.
There's also like
Let's try a really
you know,
short microfic.
You're reading
Fuck.
several like fanfics now, so like you know there are a decent amount of Scotty Spock like they're usually pretty short because there's not really enough there to like write a really long one, or it's one where it's like everyone's fucking so they're happening.
This is gonna get cut and it's fine, but Scotty's gotta get stuck in the Jeffries tube. Scotty's gotta get stuck in the Jeffries tube, and Spock is the only one strong enough to try repeatedly to get him out of there.
Why does that have to get cut? It's not that bad.
Okay, cool.
Say something insane.
Step captain.
Montgomery Scott/Spotty. I found one. Oh no, it wasn't a Scotty one. It was a Bones one. There's a good fic. It might be on that list. It might not. Where the like premise is like everyone gets like one night with Bones. Like Bones is like known to be like the ship slut, but he's like he has hard boundaries and he's like, I will fuck every one of you, but it's a one and done, my friends.
Good for him. Good
And
for
then
him.
I think it like ends with like him being like, actually, Kirk, what if we're together forever or whatever. But like, so you get an individual scene with each of like the main crew.
Cool.
And I think it is probably an AOS thing, like more of like a 2009 thing. But that is a fic you could find.
Okay. Yes, that is a fic I could find. That is something that on our fic journey, I have figured out I don't really know how to search AO3 well enough. Like, you need to be so specific about so many things that, like, I just am not yet.
Yeah, you learn that, but also, like, when you really like a pair, sometimes you'll just put in the name and then be like, I like to go, people do it by kudos. I like to sort by bookmarks more because I'm like, oh, if you bookmark something that you want to come back to, kudos is like, thanks for writing. Like, I'll kudos something that I don't even particularly like because I'm like, it's dope of you to share this. Kudos, right? But if there's lots of comments or bookmarks, that's something that people are really invested in. So I tend to like to sort by those two things. That's my hot take. But for you, you can also put in numbers. You can say a 2,500 word fic.
Yeah.
Don't show me anything else.
Yes.
So, like, that's important.
Yeah.
For you.
I did find when I was trying to find my one for August, I was like picking and searching around, and I did find a couple that I was like, okay, 5,000, 8,000. We've done this enough times that I feel like I can understand the flow of it. Like, that was helpful. They get longer and longer. I know, I'm learning the language. I start with table fic, and then I move on to street fic. Okay, I understand how this works.
I give you a whole pretty well curated like list.
Yes, but I'm not just going to read Trek stuff. Part of the idea of the journey is finding other
Hannibal
stuff.
ones. Just kidding. I have a Hannibal one, and I have a Good Omens one. But, like, you know, those are the documents I have. The Hannibal ones are all long, though.
And I don't know anything about any of these characters.
Because they're insane. They're deeply insane. Very good. If you want fics that, like, read like actual novels, go to the Hannibal. That's why I started watching Hannibal, because the fic was so highly recommended to me that I was like, well, I have to know the source material, or at least some of it. And then I ended up really liking the show. But, like, that's why I watched Hannibal, is because people who know fanfic and know what I like, they're like, no, but it's legitimately so well written. Cool. It's worth it. And they were right.
That's cool.
So, fun facts about Hannibal on the Star Trek podcast.
You know.
Anyways, spotty it is.
Spotty it is. Anyway, you can find us on the internet. Follow us at NYD Productions on Instagram and interact with the show using the hashtag XTrexPod. You can find me at NYD Urgency on Instagram.
You can find me on Blue Sky, Tumblr, and Instagram at Stella Cheeks.
You can find me on Blue Sky at Castle Uncle Vanya. And you could also find me writing stuff in our monthly newsletter, which you can subscribe to at nydproductions.beehive.com. That is nydproductions.beehiiv.com. We're really stretching our personalities into this. I like what we are all doing with our sections. I like what we are all implementing. So please check that out. That's going to be a great place to keep track with us as we wrap up this series and splinter off into all of the things that you don't know we're going to be doing yet.
Yeah, I'm going to be having a baby. So don't ask
You do know about that one.
Don't ask for me to be doing new things.
No.
You
have enough new
Stell's
things.
doing enough.
You got enough new things.
You can also email us at xtrexpod@gmail.com with questions or comments. We're going to be wrapping up soon. We will likely be recording the wrap-up post-baby, so you do have some time. But send us, it's been 4 seasons. Send us your comments, thoughts, questions. And if you want some fics, I'm pretty sure I can find a few fics where these fools get messed around by a hot lady alien.
And soon enough, we're going to be able to find the fic that Erin is going to definitely write and label
Or
spotty. And if you want to find a place to find all of these fics that we're talking about, or more conversations about other fandoms and music and our book club, you can check out our free Discord server. Just message us at any of the email addresses or things we want asking for entrance. It's totally free.
I think the
Come
link is
hang
also
out
on
there.
the website.
And it's also on the website. That's also going to be a great place to send us comments and thoughts about this show as we wrap it up. And if you want even more things like outtakes from episodes, our script notes with so much stuff we say and a lot more that we don't, access to extra podcasts like unofficial channels, you can check out our Patreon at patreon.com/NYDProductions, where you can get all of that and more for at least $1.
And don't forget to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and to tell your friends. We find that this nerdy shit is better when it's shared.
We'll see you next episode for Obsession. In the meantime,
believe boldly.
Seek truth.
Ship proudly.
X-Trex is created and written by Stella Cheeks, Erin Cline, and Bobby Hoffman, and produced by Bobby Hoffman for NYD Productions. Our show theme is Alien Spy by Ionix, and our show art was made by Jonathan Curtis.
Real hot girl shit. And if the beat live, you know Lil Juke.
Spotty.
Yaddy 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 yaddy.
Spotty.
Yaddy 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 yaddy.
Spotty.
Crazy curvy wavy big titties little waist.
Spotty.
Crazy curvy wavy big titties little waist.
Spotty.
Yaddy 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 yaddy.